Hi guys, and welcome to House Party. We are now in chapter 14 of Jesus Is. I hope that whatever you have been getting up to this week, that it's brought you fun and joy, and that you've really found some time to chase after Jesus as well. In the middle of all this, us as leaders are really still seeking the best for you guys and can't wait to be with you soon. As I was getting ready for this, I was just thinking back onto some of the games that we played, so bring back Nerf Wars and Floor's Lava, can't wait. So in chapter 14, Judah Smith really focuses on really the resurrection story and how we get to live life through the death of Jesus, that him dying and coming back to life, that his victory over death is the victory that we now live into, and that because of this, no matter what happens in life, we still win. He speaks about how we all have this personal journey to understanding the gospel message, that some of us might understand at an earlier age, some of us might understand at a later age, some of us might just get it really quickly, some of us might take some time just asking questions. Not all of us will understand or trust this message at the same time. Some of us will journey it for longer, and some of us, although knowing that the gospel is true, will not want to believe it because of some of the effects that it will have on our lives. So some of us will say, yes, like I know Jesus is real, but I don't really want to follow him. And this, I think, as I thought on that and thought of the Easter story, it reminded me of one of the disciples who said that he wouldn't believe unless he seen and touched the holes in Jesus' hands that the cross made. And as I thought about it, I find it so strange that Jesus comes back to life. He's able to become resurrected. He's able to rise again. He's able to look normal. He's mistaken for a gardener, not someone who's just been executed, and yet he still has these holes in his hands. And maybe Jesus chose to walk around with these holes in his hands just so Thomas could see and feel them, just to help the one. Jesus kept the holes in his hands just to help Thomas believe. The point being that no matter where you are, Jesus wants to take a very specific journey with you. He's not waiting for you to come in line. He's waiting to meet you where you're at, to journey things at your pace as he invites you to follow him. There's two pigeons behind me having a fight. So this is the Easter story, really. And as I read it, I was reminded of what a friend wrote this Easter, and I'd like to read it out to you. This year, Easter can be very special in a new way as we get a closer glimpse of what the first Easter was like. The first Easter was not in a crowded worship gathering with singing and worship. On the very first Easter, disciples were in their houses. It was not safe for them to go out. They were in lockdown. They were afraid after what had happened. They wanted to believe what the woman had told them, that Jesus was alive, that Jesus had risen. They wanted to believe what the woman had told them about the good news, but could they risk leaving their homes to find out? Could such a miracle really have happened? Had life really won victory over death? Could fear really be coming to an end? In their homes, they dared to believe it was over. The dark night finished and the morning had broken, that God's love was indeed the most powerful of all, even if it didn't quite feel real at the moment. Eventually, they got up, left their houses when fear had subsided, and they celebrated and spread the good news to all who would listen. He is risen. Jesus is alive. This year, we are experiencing a little bit of the first Easter and what the first Easter looked like. Being in our own homes, praying for the hope that is on the horizon, but remember, his great love always has the final say. So guys, what I would love you to do for the first task, is to look at John chapter 20 verse 19, and I'll read it out to you. On the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together, with the doors locked for the fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." And I would love you to rewrite that, maybe for lockdown. So on the evening of Sunday, the 16th of May, when you were in your bedroom, not allowed out because of lockdown, Jesus came and stood among you and said, "Peace be with you." So I'd love you to do something like that, and just to spend 5 minutes thinking in your room by yourself, what would it be like if in the middle of lockdown right now, in my room, Jesus came and Jesus said, "Peace be with you." And what would your life look like now if the peace of Jesus came upon you? So the second question is that in the book, Judah alludes to this idea that sometimes we won't follow Jesus because we don't want to, not because we don't believe in him. And so we won't follow him because he might ask us to do something that we don't want to do, or he will ask us not to do something we do want to do. And so I just want you to take some time and to reflect on why you might not want to follow Jesus as much as you could. And guys, the third and last question: the disciples who locked themselves out of fear, they would have come out of that room changed. Whether they had spent an hour in that room, 2 hours, 3 hours in that room, they would come out different. And so the question that I have for you is, how do you think you're going to come out of lockdown different? Bearing in mind that if you want to come out of lockdown different, if you want to be better playing piano, if you want to be eating healthier, if you would want to have a better prayer life, none of that is going to change by accident. None of it's going to change by a coincidence. And so what would you like to change, and are you putting in the habits and the rhythms that you need to for what you want to happen? Okay guys, so that is a house party for this week. Again, you are very welcome in the back garden. And yeah guys, we look forward to seeing you all again soon. There will be a podcast coming out that Chris, myself, Jack and Karen did, so all the interns, past and present. So yeah, in it we just talk about lessons of young leaders, so that'll be cool for you to catch up on. I think we're going to do it in 2 parts as well. So catch up on that, catch up on devotions as well this week, and enjoy it guys. We will be available. Email Chris or get in contact via Instagram or your WhatsApp group chats if there's anything that we can do to help you throughout the week. God bless. Goodbye.